I joined a gym and I was like, I'm going to get in shape 6 days a week. And it was kind of like a CrossFit type of gym. And so I had always kind of been having it. Well, I'd never had any issues with my rotator cuff ever before, ever. I had been having issues with my Achilles tendons, but not with my arms. And it hadn't even crossed my mind that was an injury that could be had. So, right. After going to the gym for like 5 months, one day I noticed that my arm was tender when I tried to lift. And so I backed off of that exercise, but it got increasingly worse. So I was just kind of waiting to go to a medical professional and see if I should possibly have surgery or what was going on underneath my skin there. Mm-hmm. And then I met Mary, who told me about these patches, and I bought them because I thought, I have all sorts of things that I could try to fix on my body. I'm 48, so things are starting to fall apart at the seams. Right. And I actually started with, when I got the X39 patches, I actually started on my on the left side of my chest, because I do have, I have chronic chest wall inflammation. It flares up every winter time, and it was really bothering me. It was really inflamed. So I started with that. And for 4 days, I put it on my left chest of my chest. And after day one, totally, it felt like it was better. But I wanted to keep going for 4 days to make sure that inflammation was gone. And it was like night and day. It was amazing. So then I thought, I might as well just try my rotator cuff now, because we healed the first thing. Let's move on to the second thing. Right. And I got a free set of patches. And can you help me with the name? It begins with a C.
Carnosine?
Carnosine?
Carnosine patch?
Yes. They gave me a 10-pack when I ordered. So I read up on what the carnosine patch does, and I thought, I'll try that too. So I stacked them. I put the carnosine patch with the X39 right on the tender, most injured spot of my shoulder, which was getting increasingly worse. Like I couldn't even put my bra on or lift my arm anymore. It was getting really bad. And the first day I noticed it went from being a kind of a radiating pain to being a dull pain, but there was still pain, but it was just like this dull pain, and I can't even explain it any other way. Yeah. And then I used all 10 of my free patches on it. And it's gotten more into more of a dull, and it's gone from like an 8 to like a 2 now. But I've only, I think that this is something that possibly might have needed surgery. So I'm feeling super excited. I re-injured it last weekend when we were playing basketball, because my dominant arm is the one that I shoot with as well. And that's the one that was injured. Yeah. And so stupid me, but I put the patch back on and it feels like it's already healed back up. So I'm down to a level 2 in pain, where I was like at an 8, and I can do all sorts of things.
Okay. So when you had the injury, was it something that crept up, or was it an acute injury that happened right? You knew it instantly when it happened.
It was like I woke up one morning and I was in a lot of pain. So I think I probably injured it the day before.
Okay. And share again, what is it that goes on with the chest?
I have chest wall inflammation. I've actually been hospitalized for it before. And they've said, you have allergies or whatever. They've never known what it was. They just said chest wall inflammation. It makes me short of breath. It's whenever I have a mammogram on the left breast, they always say, you have some inflammation. So it's been like this chronic thing. They always call me in for a second and third mammogram, and it's always nothing, And so I put it on, and every year at this time it happens, and it was almost like kind of pulsating. It gets pretty painful. So I put it on because I was like, I know that this helps with inflammation, and it instantly helped. It was very night and day, instantly helped. In one day, the pulsating and the tenderness was gone.
And that's X39, not the carnosine.
That was just X39.
Okay. When you first had the injury, how was your range of motion? Could you reach above your head?
It was when I would take my arm and go like this, tons and tons of pain. So it was going up in this motion. I could go forward and I could sort of go back, but just this motion right here, just so painful.
Okay. And so this is about a month. Is that right?
It's only been about a week and a half.
A week and a half.
Wow.
So you went from right at a 10 down to a 2 in a week and a
Yeah.
half. Is that right?
Yeah.
So the X39 you were putting right on the rotator cuff as well, not behind the neck, not below the navel, right there.
Just right next to it. And honestly, every day I moved the patch to where I felt the most pain.
Yeah.
On my rotator cuff.
Are you doing anything else, a little massage or anything like that?
No, I've limited my activity. So I have changed I'm not lifting at all now. I'm doing spin class or cycle class 4 days a week, and just to lay off of the rotator cuff a little bit to let my arm heal.
Now, anything else? How about sleep? How about energy, mood, anything like that?
Yeah, all of that. I feel like I'm getting better sleep and I have more energy. And my husband started taking these patches, and he's a little bit more, I'm kind of a spaz and he's not as much. And he noticed on day 1, he said, wow, oh my gosh, I have so much energy. Okay. He is not usually one to try out things, he just goes to the doctor and gets medicine. And I'm a lot more open to that, but he was totally sold. So, and then my husband, I think I was telling you about this. My husband had a really bad ankle break, and which required surgery. And the doctor had to go in and find his tendon. It was probably his Achilles had curled up in his leg, and he had to do exploratory surgery to find it. Wow. So now he has a rod in his leg, and it's about 10 inches long, and he has several bolts. Anyway, it gives him, it's annoying to him. It kind of his limited range of motion. And he put the X39 patch on it, and he's only done it for 2 days, but he, after day 1 was like, wow, he noticed a difference. And we've just been experimenting with that. He's only done it a couple times, but he's noticed a difference.